already know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint.
What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Today, we're back on Call of Duty World War II. It's been a little while since I've been on this game, at least on my channel, that is. I've been playing a little bit off recording, but either way, today, there's been a bit of a debate recently, and that is, should OpTic Gaming, one of the best teams to ever live, should they make a roster change, or a change in general? Now, let's just go over the team in case you're not really familiar. So you have Crim6, two-time world champion, over 30, I don't remember the exact number, but I'm going to say 30 plus major victories. Great player, one of the best players of all time. Scump, the king, world champion, gold, two-time gold medalist, I believe the only two-time gold medalist, and tons of victories at major championships. Formal, Halo, Call of Duty champion, world champion in Call of Duty. Karma, the only three-time world champion. So you have four of the best players to ever live in Call of Duty on the same team. Should they make a roster change? Is the question that's going out there. No, they should not make a roster change. So I am a little bit biased in this case because they are my favorite team. They're the team I support. But let's just go along with the fact that if they were to make a change, who would you get rid of? Who would you get rid of? A lot of people would say, get rid of Karma. He doesn't drop all the stats. But look at all the smart plays he makes. Look at the times that Formal's, dropping the ball. Look at Scump dropping the ball. Who's picking up? Karma. Crim6, right? He's not always the most flashy player. He makes good plays. He makes smart plays. He is so reliable. He's consistent, and he's super smart. You don't become a three-time world champion by being bad, right? So he's not always the guy that's dropping huge numbers. He's not always the guy at the top of the scoreboard, but he's that guy that does whatever is needed to win the game, right? Then people say Formal. Okay, Formal, one of the best players in the game. Could you drop him? You could. He's a great AR player. He played, a sub back in Ghosts. Wouldn't want to drop him. Scump, same thing. One of the best SMG players in the world. Wouldn't want to drop him. And Crim6 has been the most dominant player on this team all year. So would you want to drop him? I wouldn't. So, first problem would be, who would you drop? Or release or trade? I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Like, these are four of the best players to ever live. Like, you don't just drop one of them for nothing. Now, I've been saying for the longest time, if anyone, the first person to leave the team is going to retire. There's no way that they're going to drop any of these players. Or if they just start sucking. Right? If they just start doing terrible, not winning anything, not placing well at all, then maybe they might think about it. Maybe do they change roles? I know they're planning on doing that. But let's just keep with the subject of roster change, because that's what I really want to talk about. So let's just, who would you drop? Right? There's no one to really drop on this team. But then the other thing is, who would be most worthy of being picked up? That's the other thing. Who could they pick up? The first person I look at is Crim6's old teammate, and Aches. Right? Even though I'll never be on OpTic. He filled in a league match, I think it was back in, I think it was Black Ops 3. And he was dropping numbers. Right? He can still perform at the top level. He just needs a good team around him. So yeah, he hasn't been really at the top of his game, but he hasn't really had a good team around him since he left, the old Complexity EG Dynasty. So he could possibly, get in there. Formal's having a little trouble right now with the submachine gun. That could fix that issue. But then again, who do you drop? You don't. So you have Aches. You could pick up a guy like Apathy, right? Have another dynamic duo with Scump at the sub position. But there's just nobody that you can really see dropping, because most likely it'd have to be a trade, I would believe. And even if they would trade, are you going to trade Formal to EG? No, he wouldn't want to be on that team because Formal's going to be on a good team, right? He'll make that team good. But you wouldn't want to trade Formal. You wouldn't want to trade Karma. So, like, who do you get rid of? I just don't see anyone being dropped or traded from this team. I mean, they're all very talented, 4 of the best players to ever live. Are role changes, you know, needed? Maybe. Honestly, I wouldn't. I would just try to keep playing with what they have now because Crimsix has been absolutely on top of his game. You know, with the main AR. Like, he's been back in his form with an AR in his hands. Then you have Formal, who's been kind of inconsistent, has his games, but then has other times where he plays that sub role and he doesn't always do the best. Karma, who's like I think the flex player on this team, and then you have Scump, who's the main sub. So who would you drop? I couldn't tell you, but I don't think they should drop anyone. I don't think they should trade anyone. Now, do they need role changes? Maybe. But I don't see anyone getting dropped from this team. I don't see anyone getting traded. I don't see anyone getting dropped. I don't see them changing the roster at all. So, with that being said, I don't see any changes coming for OpTic Gaming other than maybe in-game, like personnel-wise. I don't see anyone being traded. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you did enjoy, hit that like button down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.
Scars on my body so I can take you wherever. Like I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body, I can look at you.